What's happening, football fans? Welcome back to the Born Offside show. We're back, and I tell you what, plenty of substitutions. Lucky FIFA have changed the rules, and we can make up to 5 subs now because OLANTEKKERS is off to the United States, isn't he, Kat?
He is.
He's off for a little getaway, and subbing in on his debut, we have Hamish the Mish.
Yeah.
The Mish
The
subs
man,
in.
the Mish, the legend.
The man, the Mish, the legend. Why should
an
you
intro.
listen? Yeah, well, why should you listen to Hamish? Well, because Hamish is not only one of the top up-and-coming editors, producers in the world of football, producing shows for beIN Sports, for SBS. We work very closely as a producer. His lovely face is rarely on camera, but he's also a TikTok mastermind about to hit 100K on there, Hamish.
Yeah, we're slowly getting there. It's taken a while. It's taken about 2 years.
Yeah.
Stuck at 60K for a while. But yeah.
Proper FIFA content, Pro Clubs content.
Pro Clubs, yeah, the best form of FIFA.
Yeah.
None of the Ultimate Team crap.
Are you going to start calling it EA Sports FC when it changes?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with that.
Yeah.
Honestly, it looks interesting. Some interesting changes.
Is Pro Clubs going to definitely be in the game?
Supposedly some big changes for Pro Clubs, but
Okay.
I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see.
And before we actually talk about, because I know you do play football as well and everything, but is it true you play in a competitive Pro Clubs league?
Yeah, we're not very good though.
You're actually kind of like a professional virtual player.
Yeah, well, we got basically drawn into this league because we had a few followers, and we thought we were good until we joined this league, and we get smoked every game. So it's competitive, but it's uncompetitive.
When you say we, is this a team that you've created?
Yeah,
Or is this including other creators?
No, this is just mates.
Your wow.
Yeah, this is
you.
just mates.
You're so into your team that you're
Oh,
like, yeah,
100%.
we did this, and it's like it's just you, Hamish. But
Well, if you watch a stream, you'll see how into it.
Okay.
How into a team we are.
Yeah.
Because it's borderline abuse. Really.
Didn't you win like Player of the Month in that league or something? Or you were in the Team of the
They
Week?
do like Team of the Weeks. Yeah, it's like
Can you
it's a
believe that?
full-on thing.
Yeah, he made Team of the
Unreal.
Week on
Team of the
FIFA
Week,
Pro
yeah.
Clubs.
It was
For
1 week,
those-
and then we.
for those who don't know the difference between a regular FIFA game and FIFA Pro Clubs, can you talk about it just for a
Yeah, so
second?
regular FIFA and what you generally see on the competitive stuff is just 1 or 2 people playing. Like
Yeah.
you control the whole team. Pro Clubs
Yeah.
is everyone plays as an individual
Yeah, you
player.
control one player
Mad.
on the park.
So you can have like up to 11 people on a team playing,
Yeah.
which
So
makes
cool.
the game like so much better because you actually get tactically like a little bit more,
Mm.
Yeah.
nuanced rather than just.
Does it make you a better player on the actual pitch?
You know, it kind of does in a
Yeah?
way. It makes you read the game different, or at
Yeah.
least both ways. You know what I mean? If you're a good real life player, maybe you're a better Pro Clubs player. I don't know.
There you go. I remember Man City was one of the first clubs to get their academy boys to use FIFA for tactical awareness.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's not the best.
I mean, it's better. It'd be better than watching Netflix. Like, you get more out of it.
True.
you know?
100%. Yeah.
Or watching the other things that young adolescent boys watch at
Yeah.
that
No
time,
comment.
late at night. You know what I mean? Producer Shabs knows what I'm talking about. Anyway.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Producer Shabs knows all about it.
I have a microphone, man.
Shabs
Can you believe it?
has got a microphone now. This is danger.
Oh my God.
It's been a great weekend of football, Cat. You went down to the Festival of Football here. A bit of
I
NPL
did.
action.
Yeah, it was really fun. So they're 2 very historic clubs, RPA Leichhardt and Sydney Olympic. They represent the Italian community and the Greek community here, and they do this Festival of Football every year. It's only the 3rd edition of it, so this is the 3rd time.
Okay.
And essentially it's like a derby for them. So they decided to make it a bit of a festival thing, and it's a big deal for them, and they invite lots of people, sell lots of tickets.
And you did a feature for Optus Sports.
I did a feature,
so Optus
yeah.
actually doing some grassroots
Yeah,
stuff.
so Optus, I think, have really recognised the role that these clubs especially have played in the development of women's football as well. Because when you look at RPR and Sydney Olympic, both of those are really tied to the Matildas. They're tied to Socceroos as well. There's a lot of
There's heaps
history
of
there,
them,
but
yeah.
they're very tied to the A-League as well. So really looking at what they're doing to develop the women's game as
brilliant.
we head into the Women's World Cup
Love that.
and that grassroots level stuff. But it was really fun. I actually got talking to this older guy called Claudio
Really?
for about an hour.
What a
He
man.
was chewing my ear off,
Yeah?
just his whole life story. But he was lovely. But I'd spoken to him for about an hour, and then he's like, "Hi, I'm so rude. I not said my name.
Yeah.
I'm Claudio." And I was like, "Of course you are. Of course.
I'm not going to forget that. There's another Claudio that chews my ear off for an hour every Monday. Orazio Lapace asked, do you think Apia is going to win the NPL? Who won the game?
Apia won. So
Okay.
it was first versus third.
Okay.
So Sydney Olympic in third.
So Apia
Both teams are great, but Apia have got something really special. And talking to Spencer Pryor, their coach,
Yeah.
typically at this point in the season, you're looking at the A-League women coming back.
Right.
But that's not something he's planning for. And so
Right.
it's really interesting. He's talking about using this talent that he's got and how he's looking at developing and fostering this talent and not relying on getting these
A-League
professional girls back in.
Yeah,
So
wow.
they're looking great.
Well, there you
they're
go.
looking really strong.
Both those clubs are making big claims to be in the national second division, which we're going to talk about a bit later on. We also can confirm we're speaking to Danny Townsend, the CEO of the A-Leagues.
Oh wow.
to come on the
Why?
podcast. Not come on the podcast. Hopefully
Oh.
not. Just sit in. I mean, potentially, it is a good podcast.
Physically be here.
Yeah.
Right?
If he was to, like, I would have, yeah. You know what I mean? We spray the couches. We make sure that they're...
Let's move on with that one.
Anyway,
Backroom casting couch.
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, 100%.
But he's also, we're chatting to his people. Hopefully they don't listen to the podcast this week. But we are chatting to his people about coming on because there's a lot of criticism around the
Yes.
A-League right now. But there's also a lot of hard work being done. I want to hear it from him. I want to, we can
Same.
throw him all the hard questions. But at the same time, I want he deserves a platform to be able to explain stuff.
Yeah.
The one thing that always comes up with him is that anyone I know who has met him says what a great guy he is. He's
Yeah.
so passionate about the game. And I
Yeah.
think there's certain decisions that have been made that might make people think he is not in it for the right reason. But I think it will be really nice to hear
Yeah.
from him and to understand the justification from their end on why they made certain decisions and what it means
Yeah,
for
they need a
them.
bit more of a voice, hey? They need to...
That's what needs to happen. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got like Peter Vlanders from the NRL that's coming out and he just
Did you
says
see?
shit.
Did you see what he said? I saw
Are they
a.
going to take the NRL to Vegas? Is that what I
He
heard?
said that the opening round of 2024 season should be in Vegas.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Could you imagine the players bad enough as they are in preseason, let alone in Vegas? The
Bro, can
stories
you
that would come out?
imagine? Yeah, like how long until someone gets locked up? An NRL player gets locked up. That's ridiculous.
Oh, God.
But anyway, yeah, we do need a little bit more of a voice and we need to hear their opinion. Let's go to the A-League now. Let's get into that time. Jamie Maclaren became the A-League's all-time record goal scorer.
Did you see his emotional video? It
Yeah.
was very sweet.
Yeah, he started crying talking about his grandfather, right? That said, go and be the very best. He now is the best as far as goal scoring records are in Australian A-League history. Crispy04 said, how good is J-Mac? He broke Berish's record. Because of that, Hamish, is he the best A-League striker ever?
I don't know. Yeah, he's one of those ones. I swear he's just been around for a while as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
Like Barisha, he's been in and out. I
Right.
don't know. Yeah, look, Jamie Mac, I just put him in my fantasy. I just kept him there all season.
Yeah.
Is that to be? He'll just get you goal.
J-Max set and forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Set and forget. Yeah.
Yeah,
We had this
set and
discussion.
forget.
at the start
We
of the
did.
season, Yeah.
Well, because like we've been thinking about it, we put a poll up on Twitter right after he broke the record. Is he the greatest striker to play in the A-League? 53% say offside. He's not.
Really?
What do you think is stopping people from thinking that he is? Is it the team he plays for?
I think he's the Sergio Aguero of the A-League.
Okay.
And Sergio Aguero is a great striker. Yeah. But you just can't say Sergio Aguero is better than Luis Suarez. Sergio Aguero is better than Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
He's really good, but I think maybe because he was in that City team, which is also hurting Jamie Maclaren,
Yeah.
they just don't stand up as number one.
It's also like they'll score tap-ins, they'll score those types of goals, but they
Yeah.
won't they won't do the extravagant stuff.
Like I would say, on a different scale, McLaren is our Aguero, but Berish is our Suarez.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
a-
and
you
he
know
had
what I
that
mean?
character about him as
He
well.
had the spiciness.
He
was
about
the
him.
villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
McLaren's very clean cut.
I love Bessa Berisha.
Yeah.
As much as he never played for any Sydney team, like I just loved him. He was everything about him. He was.
He was
just-
also peak A-League. He was in that era when it was peak A-League.
That's true. That's true. The A-League was cooking. at that
Context is so important as well, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Because we look at that period of the A-League and a lot of us kind of set that as the standard of what we would want it to feel like again.
point. Yeah.
So naturally you're going to associate that with the players who were big at the time as well.
Do you know what I think as well? I think Australian players get judged harsher because
True.
the thing is, Australian players like J-Mac will always get judged also in his time in a Socceroos jersey, which hasn't been horrible, but it took him a while to score
Yeah.
in a Socceroos jersey. Whereas Berisha, you're never going to see him in a Socceroos jersey.
He's kind of
so-
like the Immobile of Australia.
Yes, he's a
Yeah.
bit like the Chiro Immobile of Australia. Thanks for bringing that guy up. So before moving this one on, start, bench, sell, McLaren, Berisha, Archie Thompson. Peak.
I'd bench Archie Thompson.
Yeah, impact. Yeah, he's an impact off the bench.
You'd probably you'd have to sell Barisha just because he's got that like red card in him. Or something, you know?
Really?
But you know, like
I reckon I'll sell
actually, no,
J-Mac.
I'd sell Archie and then keep Barisha for the band
Okay.
Keep
and start
pushing
J-Mac.
for the
And start
bands.
J-Mac. So J-Mac started. There you go. So that's kind of like...
I think that says enough in
Archie's
itself,
just a bit
doesn't it?
for me. You know, it's like,
Who? Archie?
Archie, yeah.
You're not a fan?
It just ever since his punditry days, it's just a bit like.
You don't like him as a pundit? He's funny.
alright. He's just.
I like Archie.
He's pretty casual and chill,
I like
which is
him.
kind of nice.
I
I
like
quite
him.
like
And
that.
in his day, he was fantastic.
Yeah.
You agree with that one?
I do, but it reminds me of a TikTok that I saw yesterday where someone was going off about how despite all of the records that Haaland has set, I don't want to watch him play.
He's boring.
He's boring to watch. I feel like this is kind of where the J-Mark conversation is as well here.
Right.
In that for
actually,
all the
yeah.
records that he sets,
Yeah.
people don't find him as inspiring as a player. He's just in the right place at the right time.
Which is a skill in itself. It's
I
so
know, and I
unfair.
feel like it's taken for granted, but I feel like I can understand where people are coming from when they say they might not enjoy watching him play as much.
Yeah.
But his records speak for themselves.
Exactly. And City are flying high on top, well and truly clear. They're going to wrap that up. They probably look like the favourites to go all the way and win the whole thing. Over the weekend, the A-League actually... ChatGPT, we were talking about it before.
Yeah.
Producer Shabs using
Because
ChatGPT.
Claude's just read a script
Do
for
his job.
something that was entirely written by ChatGPT.
Producer Shabs just uses
Hey,
ChatGPT.
whoa, don't expose me. All right?
It's pretty scary, this AI technology. And the A-League used ChatGPT to create the perfect A-League player.
I saw that,
Did
and
you
I
see
was
this?
thinking, how much does ChatGPT know about the A-League? Because
But didn't
it
it?
doesn't have a knowledge cutoff
Yeah,
point or something?
ChatGPT has no knowledge past 2021.
Yeah.
Okay, but Del Piero played in 2012 to
You
2014.
get that, which is fine because
Del
everything
Piero
up until
is
then, he
not
knows.
part of the
Oh.
best A-League player.
You know
And
who got? I saw Matty
Yerman's got the
was
best physique. You'd cop that.
Hard to disagree.
You'd cop that.
Hard
He's
to
got a good physique.
Oh, great physique.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you seen much of his physique?
Like on the pitch.
Oh, you mean like his physicality? Matt Simon got best heading.
Oh God.
Milos Ninkovic got creativity.
Yeah.
Diamanti got technique.
Yeah.
You can't argue with that.
Can't argue with that.
Speed. Costa Barbarouses.
Okay.
Oh well.
Yeah, he's pretty good. And he's,
Yeah.
he was quick.
Yeah, he was quick. Yeah.
tackling Nigel Bugard.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you say tackling?
Tackling.
Okay, cool.
What do you think I said?
What? I wonder what they
don't know.
asked ChatGPT to get this. Like, did they just straight up go, "Who is the best?" You know.
I
Like,
think
Yeah.
they probably did. Who has the best physique? We should try it. You
In
know,
the A-League. We should
And
try it.
see
on the
what we
Born
get.
Offside podcast.
Finishing Bessart Berisha, left foot Thomas Broish and right foot Diego Castro.
Yeah,
No Del Piero, is that onside or offside?
that's offside.
That's
Sure.
offside?
Yeah, 100%.
Sure. Del Piero has
It's
to be
offside.
down there. I mean, if you look... And physique...
We had Del Piero in the A-League at one point.
That's what I mean. He has
That
to be
I still struggle to wrap my head
Honestly,
around.
I remember
at
watching
this level.
Fox Sports News the day he arrived at Sydney Airport, and it was like an hour stream of just Del Piero like waiting for him to come off the plane.
there. Yeah.
And he took like an hour and a half to get off the plane.
Yeah.
And they just kept the camera on it the whole
That's
time.
it, yeah.
It was wild.
Superstar.
I've got
man.
a funny story about Del Piero and my friend. I'm going to shout him out, Roberto Speranza. He plays for Marconi.
Yeah.
And he had a stint with Sydney FC when Del Piero was with them. And he was able to go and train with the first team one day. And then they were like, all right, but boys, training's over, head to the ice baths. And Robbie got really excited. He's like, this is so cool. Like, I'm going to have an ice bath with Del Piero.
Yeah.
Anyway, he didn't know that like you could leave part of your clothing on for the ice bath, but he kind of got in like fully naked. And he got in first. So then Del Piero gets in and like he's obviously cold. It's an ice bath. So he's stuck in this ice bath until everyone gets out because he doesn't want them to know he's naked.
Right, and also
So,
it's,
like,
it's an ice
Del
bath
Piero-
not where you want to
no.
be naked as a man.
So like all these players sitting
have a
in,
little
having their
acorn.
moment, they're leaving, sitting in, having their moment, leaving. He's like, finally gets his moment with Del Piero and he's just thinking, I'm naked. Anyway, had to wait till Del Piero got out as well. It's just that moment for an Italian.
Hypothermia at that
Can you
point.
imagine though? Like this guy growing up in Australia, Italian, he finally meets his idol and he's naked in
he's
a nice bath.
Naked in an ice bath.
that is absolutely
It's a story
brilliant.
though.
Yeah,
It
that
is.
a
And
story.
I'm sorry, Robbie, if any of those details were wrong.
Yeah. Wow.
There was no acorn involved. That was the only rule.
No, yeah. But you'd be forgiven in an ice bath. As
You
I
would,
said, it's
you
not, get the cameras away when I'm in an ice bath. Speaking of Sydney FC, they needed a late winner in their women to make the final, but they get there nonetheless. Look, it was a great performance. Great to see Sydney FC in the final, in a home final as well,
Yeah.
which is controversial in itself. But
One for Danny.
Casey
to talk about.
Dumont
Yes.
went from hero to zero in the space of a week.
That's the life of a keeper, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
and it's
tough
one
life, isn't
goal. Madison Haley came in clutch. It was in the 89th minute, I believe, for Sydney FC. Someone had to win it.
Who's going to win the final, Kat?
For all that you might think that I am a Sydney FC fan, and yeah, I traditionally am, I think Western United taking this out will be an amazing story, and I would love to see it because I think it will help any conversation around a second division because it shows what the talent at that NPL level can do in an A-League.
Because they're stacked with like NPL
They're
players.
stacked
so-
with Calder United girls, so a team in Victoria. A large portion of that team, like 80% of that team, minus basically their marquee players, are from Calder United. So they've moved up from NPL under the Western United banner and then have been able to do what they've done, and it's unreal.
Wow. There you go. It's always hard to play the team you just beat a week before.
Yeah.
You know, you usually fancy the other team. I have a feeling Sydney FC is going to win that game. Let's talk about the A-League men's. Perth Glory, Adelaide. 4-4 draw.
Cracker.
Now, A mate of ours was brought into it.
I don't know if he's a mate if he's saying things like that. No, I'm joking.
I don't throw
I'm
my mates
joking,
under the
I'm
bus. He's
joking.
all right. He's all right. He's obviously just not a football guy. But John Bernard, you might know him for guessing the COVID cases. Yeah, he's got a podcast at the moment. Him and his brother were smashing the A-League. They called it Not Entertaining. In the same week, we get a 4-4 draw, an incredible game. Firstly, what do you make of Bernard's comments?
Look, I'm not the biggest A-League fan. Not in the sense that I'm not a fan of it. It's just I never find the time to watch it.
Okay, so you find the time to watch 2 a.m. game.
100%. That's
But not
what's
a 7
weird.
p.m.
Yeah,
game.
no, like even this Perth game. Oh man, like
I guess the
I
argument is, what else are you doing at 2 a.m.?
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
true.
Okay. Yeah.
No, but I mean, to say it's not entertaining is wrong.
Yes.
I can understand why you wouldn't watch it just for whatever reason, but to say it's not entertaining as a whole is just wrong. And that game proved it.
Yeah.
It gave me shades of like that Central Coast Mariners Sydney game. You know the one like
That
way back, the
5-4.
5-4.
Yeah.
I remember that one. Yeah.
Easy.
Well, I mean, it was a great game, and Perth thought they won it, and they needed a win at that point. They thought they won it through Adam Taggart. It was a great moment, 96-minute goal. And then that man, Nestor Irankunda, does it again.
Incredible.
Right? 17 years of age, scores a great goal, dribble. We've seen it time and time again.
Yeah.
He explodes down that right side, and he shoots from a tight angle, and he's done it again.
There was nothing on. I was watching. There's like 5 defenders on him.
Yeah.
Nothing on, and he just manages to just
Carries it
unleash
himself.
it.
Yeah. He
Wow.
zones in and he goes. The common football fan says, is there another 17-year-old anywhere that can consistently come up with these clutch moments in the world?
If anyone knows that, it's Claudes.
Yeah, that's a.
Not that I know of. I mean, it's
There's
crazy.
no one being talked about in other leagues that is
No.
that same age.
No, and it's almost crazy because I think he's got a lot of hype at the moment. But it's almost crazy when you look at the Garen Quall hype. As much as I back Garen, I think Garen's a great player. But it's like what Nestori's actually done
Yeah, much more.
is significantly more. It's like
than
he's
Garang.
probably lacking a little bit
It
of
makes
hype.
me wonder what would have happened if Garang spent the rest of the season in the A League.
Yeah.
You know?
You think it was too early, even though it was to your
Yeah,
club,
well, look, I'm a
Newcastle?
Newcastle fan, so I follow all the Newcastle threads, and even Newcastle fans are now getting annoyed that Garang's not getting game time at Hearts, who won 6-1, and he still couldn't get on the pitch.
Yeah.
So
So it's just a terrible line move.
yeah, well, yes and no, because you've got the Aussies there.
Couldn't have loaned him back to the A-League?
That's what I thought.
You know?
Yeah.
Give him some time.
him
He,
some
he
time,
him
yeah.
running
needs to actually
around.
start games.
It would be interesting to know what the plan is with him. There.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping Eddie Howe gets him under the wing because the way he's transformed players, I can go on all day about that. I reckon a good preseason under Eddie Howe and Garang will be solid.
Well, let's see. Maybe Nestori could be making a move. I'll be very surprised if he's still an A-League player next season
Yeah.
with this type of
100%.
form. I'd be very surprised. A man who does not want to come back to the A-League, despite signing a 2-year contract when he first got here, is Luis Nani. Announced that he's not coming
Shock.
back. Yeah, he's not coming back.
Shock.
He's at...
Where's he training?
well, he did his knee, and then he's doing his comeback. He went back to Europe. He turned up at the FIFA Best Awards.
Yeah, no.
He went to the World Cup. He's living his life.
Yeah, I think he's living his life. I also think the victory drama probably didn't make the
Yeah.
club look super appealing to him.
Yeah. Are you
during the
sad that
season.
he's not coming back?
Not really.
No, you don't miss him?
No.
Good riddance?
Did we get
It's
one
not a
backflip?
good riddance. I just
Did we get a backflip?
I don't think we did.
I don't think
Not
we
good
did.
value.
I don't know if he
I
can
don't
still
feel
do
like
that.
the impact was great enough to
Too many
feel
prestige than
that.
other. I don't know if he can do that.
prestige enough.
Prestige. I don't know, man. Look, good riddance. I mean, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
the A-League needs to
Yeah.
focus more on players that are
Yeah.
fit and are going to come here and are going to light it up. Not so much there. If you are looking for a superstar, can we please get Zlatan Ibrahimovic? I think he'll be the
Oh,
biggest thing.
please.
Since I'm going to ask Danny Townsend.
Yeah.
Yes, I want
I
Zlatan.
want Zlatan in Australia.
Yes, because he's box office.
He is.
Box office. He will get people into that stadium.
Yeah,
100%.
you need someone like him.
You
Yeah.
do.
100%. Big congratulations to Giancarlo Italiano, Chiefy, who takes over at Wellington Phoenix. He's taking the top job now because Ufuk Tale is leaving, and Chiefy actually is proper NPL head. Anyone that grew up in Sydney's system,
That's mad.
Yeah, like he's a coach. Sorry, that it was known growing up. I don't think he's ever coached first grade before
Yeah.
anywhere. Because he came up with me, age group, so 13s, 14s, 15s. Then he got the Sydney FC 20s gig. Then he got the Wellington assistant gig. And now I think this is his first grade gig. So I'm rooting for him. I hope he does really well. He's another NPL, not just NPL products as players, but
Yeah.
NPL coaches are now getting gigs in the A-League, which is great. Nikolai Topol-Stanley retires. 388 games. What a man.
I was waiting for that to happen. Hey.
Yeah, you
I
think
thought he
was,
retired like 6 years ago. Honestly,
you thought he was past it?
yeah, it was only when he took out Garang earlier in the season I realized he was still playing.
Yeah. Should have retired a while ago.
Yeah.
I reckon that's
2014.
worse than someone. I'm being told that you look or you seem as though you retired years ago wouldn't feel so great.
No, it
The
wouldn't.
fact that he kicked on, respect to him.
True.
So.
Exactly right. A-League champion, Champions League winner, a couple Socceroos caps as well, and went to the Olympics. So he's had a great career, Nikolai
Yeah.
Topol-Stanley. Enjoy
Good on
your
him.
retirement, mate. Let's park Aussie football for a second and let's go overseas. And I never thought I was going to say this really, but let's start in the Conference League because we have one in here from Semi Parlak. Wrexham. Are we jumping on the bandwagon or what? Is it too much, Hamish, this bandwagon?
Well, Sydney Morning Herald and all them are starting to report on it.
Is that
So I've
crazy?
never seen a Premier League article written by any Australian outlet, let alone like other than Optus Sport, and yet there they are talking about
Even
Wrexham.
A-League.
Yeah, even A-League. Honestly,
Even the Australian stuff they don't really write about.
Like, this is the Ryan Reynolds factor, but is it a bit much now?
This is the beauty of what is a Hollywood, like it's a football story written for Hollywood. It is. Did you like the movie Goal growing up?
Of course.
Yeah. It's
Santiago Munoz.
Santiago. Everyone remembers that movie. It had that impact on you. This is a real life version of that.
Yeah.
Paul Mullen is Santiago Munoz for this team.
Yeah.
And I think for people who they're not football people, i.e. my parents, sat through that entire docuseries, loved it. So when I want a football conversation, I'll be like, you hear what's happening with Wrexham.
With Wrexham, and they know
And
Wrexham.
they'll listen.
And they won't even know probably Middlesbrough, all these big clubs that are in the Championship, like Sheffield Wednesday.
Gibberish.
They wouldn't know them, but they know Wrexham.
They know
It's
Ryan
crazy.
Reynolds, they know Wrexham, they know
crazy.
relegation and promotion. And they're kind of keywords for a lot of people. And
100%.
I think that's why.
Yeah, I think it's part of that new age of like digital, a bit like your hashtag Uniteds when they first came up. Like if you have a big social media presence, you can actually get, massive numbers and massive viewership. And then you get these awesome stories that come out of it. So.
But it's nice because I guess it's like hashtag United, but with the actual history. Because this is
Exactly,
actually a
yeah.
very historic
Yeah.
club, So
Because they were kept alive, 2011, the supporters group kept them alive?
Yes,
Because they were going to go.
They were going to go bust, and it's been 15 years since they've been in the Football League, which is the top 4 leagues in England. So congratulations to them. Notts County also having a great season. Look like they're going to go up too.
Yep.
You mentioned that social media, like some clubs are just nailing that storytelling, like on TikTok. Have you seen Mainz from the Bundesliga?
There's a few teams in
there's
the
a few,
Bundesliga doing quite well.
Mainz are really good. Roma are good. There's a couple of the Russian teams are good. It was Spartak.
Yeah,
Spartak Moscow.
Spartak's so good.
Their admin is
They jump
brilliant.
on all the trends really fast.
Yeah, they're very
Have
good.
you seen the Wes Anderson film trend
the
right
Palace
now?
one? Did you see Palace's one?
Yeah, Western Sydney Wanderers did one over the
really?
weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go check it out and,
Yeah.
and boost up their views a little bit because the A-League needs to
Yeah,
be
we
boosted.
need good admins.
But
I think Perth Glory has a good admin
They're
as well.
great. I
Yeah.
love it. I absolutely love it.
It is great to see. It's the age, as you said. Speaking of that age of TikTok, Nick Stav, let's talk about his team. He was over at the Emirates, good friend of the podcast, to see Arsenal bottle it, almost lose 3-1. But
You called this, didn't you?
I told you.
You said if ever there was a bottle job, it's Southampton.
It's Southampton at home because you can just see it coming.
Did you say that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Far out.
Yeah. I was just saying it to stir Arsenal fans, but it came true. Nick O'Connor, are Arsenal in trouble? Hamish, are they done?
Look, it all comes down to this Wednesday, and I think they knew that already. Like they knew that it was all down to this Man City Wednesday, Man City.
Yeah,
game.
Thursday morning for us.
But we had this discussion, and you were saying like, I just don't see them doing it.
It's just
Like,
hard to see.
You can't because you're saying Liverpool had a different system.
Yeah.
Man City when Liverpool did their title run. Arsenal have the same system, just with worse players.
Yeah.
And like if you look at like Rob Holding, I don't want to put a scapegoat on him, but
Yeah.
ever since they've lost Saliba,
Yeah.
I think they're unfortunately done.
It's hard, and I know Arsenal fans are going to come at me for this. And you know what? I put myself out there because chances are Thursday morning they might go beat City, and I look like an idiot. But what I'm saying is that Liverpool counter-attacking teams, Chelsea in their prime, Liverpool in their prime, they can get the better of City. Arsenal are just a slightly shitter City. They're still very good, but they're a slightly shitter City. Odegaard is not as good as De Bruyne. Gabby Jesus is not as good as Haaland. These players, Thomas Partey's good. He's not as good as Rodri. So they play the same system. Zinchenko rolls in the same way John Stones rolls in. They play the exact same system. Mikel Arteta learnt under Guardiola. It's just a slightly shitter City. So you just can't see them being able to nullify the beast that is Manchester City.
And to be fair to Arsenal, like there was a photo of Man City's bench towards the end of the Sheffield FA Cup game, and it had like Haaland, Ruben Dias, like $500 million worth of talent.
Yeah.
And Arsenal just don't have that. Like, you can't. They don't have a Ruben Dias to come off the bench when Saliba gets injured.
No, exactly. But it is probably the biggest game in history in almost 20 years for Arsenal. So this is a huge opportunity for them to go and do something. And let's see.
I think the problem too is that if they should have gone into this City clash able to lose.
Yeah.
The problem is they've
They can't.
bottled it
They can't. Even a
leading
draw
up to
would
this.
be good.
Because City was always going to be their toughest game and they have bottled it when they should have won.
Yeah.
You should not have drawn 3-3 with Southampton, who are about to be relegated.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel bad for
that's not
Southampton
how
as
that
well.
should have
Do ya?
happened.
Yeah,
I don't.
Nah, you go to the Emirates, you keep him at
You're
bay.
a bitter Chelsea supporter, though.
I don't feel bad for Southampton. They've been sitting around there for years now and haven't fixed their
you're
shit.
right.
Yeah,
You're right.
true.
They
You
have
know?
been
You're
close
right.
to relegation.
Yeah, it's like
Nathan Jones.
yeah, you know, like they say the definition of insanity. You keep doing the same shit. You just avoid relegation. You need to change something.
Yeah.
You don't change anything. Chances are you're gonna get relegated next time. I don't really feel sorry for them, but hey, still a while to go. No one is relegated yet.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. All right, this is his time. Newcastle
Oi.
smashed Tottenham.
Man, that was wild.
You guys were up 5-0 after 21 minutes.
Yeah, it honestly reminded me. The only time I've ever felt like that during a football match was the Brazil-Germany game. You
Yeah.
know, and you're just like, what the?
What
Yeah,
is
what
going
is
on?
going
Yeah.
on?
Yeah, and it was like Jacob Murphy smashing one in from like 35
What a goal.
yards. Yeah, unreal.
That was the 9th minute goal or so.
Yeah, that was the third one.
Unbelievable.
yeah.
That was my favorite goal.
Yeah.
And then the Willock outside the football to Isak. Yeah,
Amazing.
unreal. It was annoying that they scored. We let Tottenham score. Honestly, the Optus Sport punditry, it came on at half time and they asked Tim Sherwood, so what do you think of the half? Like, you know, he goes, well, to put it positively, at least it's not 7 or 8. Because it could have been. Like,
Jeez. I mean, is that just how good? Like, did Newcastle just peak on the weekend? Or have you...
Spurs, like, what's his face? Stellini bottled it.
Yeah.
He went for the 4 at the back.
He actually took responsibility for it.
Yeah,
as well.
did you see the interview after?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know if you watch The Office, like
I
any of the
do.
shows where they
I
like,
do.
you know, when they like jim the camera, they look at the camera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they break the
And
wall.
they
They
break
break
the fourth wall.
break the
They kept
fourth
asking
wall.
him, like, what do you think went wrong today? And he kept looking. And he's like, I made a mistake. And it was honestly like something out of The Office. It was
Yeah.
like a skit because he was
He's
just
like,
he looked so
do I
paralyzed.
admit defeat here?
Yeah.
That could
Yeah.
be his managerial
And-
career done before it started.
Lloris also described it as like embarrassing. Like,
Yeah,
the
so, I don't know.
in general,
Was
it
he
was
injured
like,
or did he get
No,
hooked?
apparently he went in and had some choice words for everyone, and then he just got told don't bother coming out. That's what I've heard. I'm kind of my dad was reading the article as I was leaving the house today.
Wow. Hugo Lloris, time to step aside.
He let in like the
Let's
third
be
goal.
real.
Oi.
No.
He's, you know, Lloris has been past it for a little bit.
I
now.
read somewhere if Mike Magnon played the World Cup final,
Yes.
France would have had it back.
France would have won the World Cup.
Yeah.
Mike Mignon's the best goalkeeper in the world. Fact.
Mm-hmm.
Is Nick Stav, Isaac Robertson, is Nick Stav the reason Arsenal bottling the league?
Oh. Oh.
Yes. I mean, I don't know about that, but
Oh. My heart
for
hurts.
argument's
for
sake, yes. He was on Arsenal Fan TV.
I
He
know.
was, yeah. Did you see that? He was
Our
with
boys
Robbie.
made it.
And he spoke very well on there.
He did,
did.
yeah.
Amongst all the rubbish, he actually made some sense.
Yes.
Which is rare
He's
for
very
that.
honest, which is good. He
Yeah.
He's
never embellishes Arsenal. Like if they don't play well, he'll say that.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think that's very Arsenal fan TV.
It's true. They love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Jake McCrory, can City win the treble, Hamish? They're right there. Final of the FA Cup against United.
Mm-hmm.
Champions League semi-final. Still got to get over Real Madrid. In the league, they win Thursday. They've got a hand on it.
Yeah, Thursday's the final for them.
Yeah.
If they win that, then Premier League, I'm pretty sure they're done. Man United without the 2 centre backs, or I think at least one of the centre backs. Martinez is still going to be injured.
Martinez is out.
I don't see them beating City. Although, like, if there is a team to beat City, it's United.
United could maybe do it.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
they
It's
could
weird.
maybe do it.
And then Real Madrid, I honestly see them beating Real Madrid, and then we had this. we
Do
made
you
this joke.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly see them beating Real Madrid and then losing to like Inter in the final.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I said, right? If Napoli would have played City in the Champions League final, I'd say give it to City now. And I go back to my conversation about Arsenal. They play the same way as City.
Yeah.
When City come up against a possession-based team, they destroy them.
Yeah.
Or someone that tries to play like them.
Yeah.
When City come up against a low block counter-attack, that's how you get them. And Inter and AC Milan are the definition of that. So whoever wins that game, if they play Real, I think the Italian team will lose.
Yeah.
But if they play City, I'm backing one of the Milan teams to just do a job.
That'll be the day. I'm excited.
Sit back for 90 minutes. And
Yes.
then Lukaku on the counter or something
Yes.
ridiculous like that.
Yes.
You know.
100%.
Wow,
I
I'm
could
here
just see
for it.
could
I
just
am
see it
absolutely.
happening. It'd be
I
pretty funny.
don't think City will win Champions League.
No,
Yeah.
you think Real Madrid where it ends?
Look, Liverpool supporter, I've said this week in, week out.
Yeah.
I think Real Madrid are as good as it gets with Champions League, but I'd love to see what one of these Italian teams could do as well. But I think Real just know how to win Champions League.
Yeah, that's it with Real.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
They're
even
just such a threat. They make it look easy. They make the wins look easy.
Yeah. Yeah, possibly. I mean, watch this space. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait for those semi-finals. Chelsea have narrowed down their manager search. Nagelsmann has withdrawn
Oh, did he?
his interest in taking charge of the club, apparently. He probably looked in there and said, fuck that. Right? I mean, I don't blame him. And his replacement, Tommy Tuchel's having a tough time at Bayern. Bayern lost on the weekend to Mainz, and they're now in second place. Tuchel's now lost the same amount of games as Nagelsmann this season.
Yeah. Honest to God.
Far out.
That's crazy.
These manager changes this season
It's made the
been-
Bundesliga interesting.
It
to
has.
be fair.
It
The
has.
best change that was made
Yeah.
was Emery for Villa.
Yes.
Everything else has flopped.
has flopped, hasn't
Yeah.
it? It's
That's
true.
it. Everything else has flopped.
You can't
Yeah,
think of
I
many
can't-
other ones that
yeah.
have done too well. Exactly right. Alex Picariello has asked, would you take Poch for Chelsea? So Poch seems to be the front runner for Chelsea. I personally don't think Poch is a winner.
No.
But Ange Postecoglou has apparently made
I saw
that.
that.
A-League Now on Twitter said, thoughts on the Ange Postecoglou rumour. He's made the shortlist.
Yeah.
As an Aussie, I
Whatever
love
that means.
Whatever that means.
Yeah. Could be 20 people. But,
Yeah.
but still, hey, respect to him.
I mean, it would be amazing, wouldn't it, to see Ange Postecoglou at Chelsea?
Yes,
No?
but I feel like he would be inheriting a very difficult task.
Yeah.
And the last thing I want to see is a Lampard or a Gerrard situation where he goes in and we're all excited to see him there,
Yeah.
but he's not. It's not that he's not ready.
Yeah, but
it's
can you
that they're
can
not
you
the
do
right
worse
club.
than this season?
Probably not. And also, like
you
when
think
you
can
look
do
at
worse, chaps? But what, are we getting relegated? Is the only thing the only thing you can do worse than this season is get relegated?
You can still,
Postecoglou
you can
will
still
not
get relegated this season.
Postecoglou would not relegate Chelsea.
Postecoglou
You're
will
right.
not
You're right.
get
You're right.
relegated.
And not with that squad.
It's
No.
just I don't want to see him in a toxic environment where
Yeah.
he suffers because of it. That's my main thing. Like, and Chelsea, I don't hate Chelsea, but like I really dislike them.
I strongly dislike them.
And yeah, the last thing I want to be doing is rooting for an Australian manager because it's Chelsea. You know what I mean? As well. So I just don't want to see him. I don't
Sounds
want to
like
see him
a you
fail.
problem, Hamish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't want to see him fail. I don't know.
I hope it happens to him because you know his wallet will be good too. I think they'll pay him very, very well. I'd love to see it. Some bad news, heartbreaking news. How many players are doing their ACL in that Lionesses
Oh, I
side?
know.
Leah Williamson is out for the World Cup, England's captain.
So sad.
Are they slowly slipping away from being favourites?
I mean, Leah not playing is a really big deal. And, you know, we beat them a couple of weeks ago and Leah played.
Yeah.
She's very crucial to that side.
Yep.
But hopefully she's still in camp with them. You know, she'll still play that role as a captain. She'll still be there. They're stacked with talent. That's undeniable. But it's definitely a positive thing for the Matildas.
Hope they lose.
You don't like
What,
the
England?
English?
Yeah.
Well, look, I'm English Aussie, so at least I've got like one or the other. So
It's too much hype on them now.
yeah,
I don't like anything with too
I
much
just
hype.
don't like seeing great players miss out on big
That's true.
events.
I don't
Yeah,
like that.
That's
one
what's
either.
sad as well
So-
because well, we want these players
Yeah.
here. Like
It's
they
the
also
draw card.
bring the attention to Australia and we want them here.
She's
but-
massive. And what I do like about Leah Williamson as a defender myself
Yeah.
is that she's one of the only there aren't too many in the men's game besides maybe Ramos, Verge a little bit. But you know those defenders that are like superstars?
Yeah.
The superstar in the team is a
Yeah,
defender.
it's
I
just
love
yeah,
that. Like
fair
with
enough.
England,
That's true.
I think Leah Williamson was probably one of the most well-known English players. I feel like everyone knows Leah Williamson.
Oh, 100%.
Not everyone knows, I don't know, Lucy Bronze. Not everyone knows.
Well, I was going to say in England, you'd say like Bronze is very well known as well,
I
but
feel like she's the
outside
biggest
of
name.
outside of the WSL,
Yeah.
it's Leah Williamson.
Yeah, she's such a big worldwide name, so that hurts. Hopefully, she does come down to Australia anyway,
Yeah.
just to be part of the squad. It'd be great to see. What about the King Kazu? Kazuyoshi Miura. Played for Sydney. Remember him?
Yeah.
Played for
Yeah,
Sydney
it
FC
was.
back in the day. He's been playing football since before we were all born. Professional football. He
Even me?
even you, Grandma. I
Really thought you would make a joke, so I just thought I would, but that was fucking rude.
You set him up and then you do
I know. Damn.
He made a debut yet again. It's his
Yeah.
38th season as a professional footballer. He's 56 years old and he's come on as a sub for OLANTEKKERS in the second division in Portugal.
Did you see the video?
No.
So the video of the sub getting subbed off, just the look he makes towards his manager. Like imagine getting subbed off for a 56-year-old. Like the look he makes towards his manager. Is,
Yeah, well, come
Yeah.
on, bro. It's Kazu.
Don't be ageist.
It's the king.
you can kind of tell he's getting old now the way he runs and stuff.
well,
I just
56,
don't
bro.
understand why a
56,
Portuguese second division side. Why would you want a 56?
Because you
Imagine
wanna
how many
live in-
jerseys you'd sell in Japan.
Yeah, and also life in Portugal would be really nice. If you got
Yeah.
a bit of money, the
100%.
weat's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it'd
Oh.
be great for him.
I
just
reckon
like
they're
the team.
thinking sell
Yeah,
jerseys,
money.
maybe
Yeah.
tour to Japan.
Yeah,
You'd sell out a stadium. Some shitty second division team in Portugal would sell out a stadium in Japan. That's cash.
Yeah.
That's a lot of yen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Japanese
lot.
currency.
That's a lot of sashimi.
Oh, where you gonna take it there?
What?
Where you gonna take it
A lot of
there?
sushi, right?
Sushi.
A lot of Japanese stereotypes.
Wow.
What? You could buy a lot of sashimi.
I'm joking. You could buy a lot of sashimi, although it's quite expensive.
That's my point.
Matt Le Tissier. Matt Le Tissier. For a lot of people, one of the best penalty takers in the history of the
Don't
game.
cancel
Fun
me for
fact.
that.
But he was a great player.
Yep.
Matt Le Tissier, Southampton, great. is going a bit of a family drama at the moment.
Oh no.
He's always good drama, isn't he?
He's a bit of a drama guy, isn't he?
Drama guy, yeah.
So he's having a problem. We've made it most of the pod keeping it football related. I think it's time for me to
Branch
Matt Le
out.
Tissier fan.
just branch out a little bit more. So Matt Le Tissier is unhappy with his daughter-in-law.
Wow. Okay.
Called her a bad mum because she joined OnlyFans. Ooh. Now, does that make you a bad mum though, Kat?
Okay.
What do you think?
Now, Claudes.
So he said,
Is that all the information?
well,
you're gonna give
okay.
me?
Matt Le
Can you
Tissier-
provide me a
Zero
little bit of
context.
context?
So obviously, so she's married Matt Le Tissier's son, and obviously her last name is Le Tissier,
Okay.
and that's a big last
So
name.
she's dragging the name.
So he says she's dragging the name
Fair.
through OnlyFans, and he wants
Yeah.
her to change her last name, at least on OnlyFans. Use a different name.
Fair.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Or is that really his choice to make, Hamish?
I think
You're
it's a
very
risky
woke.
that's a risky run when
Hamish
you
is
marry into
far
a
more
family.
woke than I am.
Yeah.
that's funny. She's obviously like using the name as the like draw card.
You think
Wait,
that's what
you
it is?
think-
100%.
Southampton fans will be tugging off to that just because it's like
100%.
the
That and
daughter-in-law
the
of a
Matt Le
legend.
Tissier volley compilation.
Yeah.
The two things you tug off to.
Screen in screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. About the South Park meme where there's jizz all over the room. You know the South Park meme? Oh, is there anything better than Letitia? Letitia. Maybe
Shabs,
she could
he's
be
got the
Letitia.
images, doesn't he? He's got the...
Have you got the stuff, Shabs?
Hey, I'll put in an edit after this.
Yeah,
don't
well,
Yeah,
yeah,
you can
no
subscribe to OnlyFans for work purposes.
Yeah,
sure.
Letitia.
That's wild.
maybe. Yeah.
Nice.
That's a nice one, right? Anyway,
I
apparently,
think it's fair.
look, she's blowing up. She's saying during the COVID pandemic, she was struggling to feed her 4 kids, so she joined that. Which I think,
Struggling.
what this is what I mean. The Letitias are surely well off.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you really need to?
Well, you'd want to hope he's trickling down. I mean, most ex-prem
trickling?
ex-players.
What do you mean trickling?
That's
That's weird, bro.
it's metaphorically the
Trickling to
money
his
coming
daughter-in-law's
down.
OnlyFans. That's fucked up, Hamish.
Phase of it.
I didn't think bringing you on the pod would go there, but that's
I
all
knew
right.
you'd take it there.
Look,
as
they're a
well.
weird family. Who knows? Honestly, who knows?
Oh god, I had to make Hamish feel uncomfortable coming on the pod. I had to.
Oh.
I had to. That's brilliant. Anyway, I hope it's sorted out because Letitia was a fantastic player, and from what I've seen, his daughter-in-law also is very talented.
How old
Good
is
to know
she?
you're doing your research, Claudes.
Huh?
How old is she? Do we know?
I'm not sure. We can find out.
Yeah, we'll do some research.
We'll do
after
some
the pod.
research on that one. Yeah, Shabs, we'll
Shabby.
get us that login.
Work expense.
Yeah, exactly
Yeah.
right. How about the Italian teams dominating Europe? Hey, let's talk
Yeah,
about that.
Let's talk about.
Let's talk
You
about
shared that post the other day.
that. I did. Yeah,
Yeah.
5 teams left in Europe. So Juve got their 15 points back.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, it was always going to
You
happen.
know,
It's
Juve are pretty
Juve.
powerful.
Kind of like.
They slapped them on the wrist. And then they
100%.
said, okay, moving on.
100%.
Yeah, it just kind of undermines the league a bit when you're like
Oh,
you're
come
down
on,
and then you
Hamish.
back up.
Oh, fuck off. They're spoken
This
like
is
a proper
Serie A.
Premier League snob.
You know, this Italian league. It's,
Those Italians, stick to your pasta and your pizza. Is that what you're going to say? It's a great league.
no, honestly, I have not. I actually was I was like a Premier League snob up until this season where I've come to really respect the Serie A.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been
Yeah,
very good.
yeah,
And obviously
it's
the teams doing well in Europe is big. Jacob Pato has asked thoughts on 5 Italian teams making the semi-finals in all competitions. Look, it's great. It's big for the league. Let's be real. It's been there now for a few years. The only thing lacking is like when you compare to Spain, Spain always have multiple teams in the finals, like your Sevillas and your Villarreals who are winning Europa League. So Italy need to win one of these tournaments now.
They do.
Fiorentina's in the semi of the conference. Roma, Juve are in the semi of Europa. And obviously the Milan clubs. They need to win one of those.
They need to
trophies.
win one.
Yeah. I think having one of the Milan clubs in the final of the Champions League is big enough in itself. I can
It
see
is.
like a Roma, probably Juve doing the.
Yeah.
They play each other. No?
Well, Juve plays Sevilla.
Okay.
And
okay.
Roma plays Leverkusen.
Yeah.
So, good semis.
Leverkusen looking good as well.
Sevilla looking really good.
Yeah, they're in form again. Really good semis. George J on Twitter asked us, will the Champions League semi be the biggest Milan derby ever, especially considering they're knocking down the San Siro?
Yeah, I'd argue.
It's
Yeah.
going to be huge.
It's huge.
Absolutely.
I was trying to score a ticket. If anyone that listens to the Born Offside podcast can get Claudes, your lovely household
And his
Claudes,
cameraman.
that gives you, that gives you your podcast every week, makes you laugh, cry, whatever. If any of you can score me a ticket to the second leg at the San Siro, I will fly in a heartbeat and I will kiss you on the mouth.
That's going to be an event. Honestly,
Yes.
that's going to be an event.
I will do anything for you. Probably anything. If you can get me a ticket to that game. So let me know. It'd be amazing. There's an interesting situation in Italy right now. Try and follow me on this. At the moment, the table looks like Napoli, Lazio, Juve. Then we got Roma, Milan, Inter, Atalanta. Right. The situation is at the moment that for the first time ever, or for the first time since it happened to Tottenham, you could see now, because they changed the rule that
right.
5
Yeah,
teams
yeah,
can
yeah,
make
yeah.
the Champions League,
Yeah.
but 6 teams can't.
Okay.
So if Inter and
Oh, if they're on the same point.
no, if they win, so if Inter go win the Champions League but finish 6th, Roma go win the Europa League but finish 5th,
Mm-hmm.
a 4th place AC Milan or Juve
Won't
would
do
miss out.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's an interesting situation in Italy at the moment.
So they-
Because I think you can get up to 8 in the Premier League now, playing in Europe in general.
in Europe.
Yeah.
But the maximum that can go to the Champions League is 5.
Right.
Even if they win all the tournaments, you can only have 5. Yeah, it's a bit unfair.
Yeah, that's a
Hurts.
pickle. They're in a pickle.
It's a bit unfair. So I don't know if any of you guys followed me at home about that one, but we look forward to the Champions League. Madrid City, Milan, Inter, the Europa League, as I said, Roma, Leverkusen, Juventus, Sevilla, and that thing called the Conference League. If you ever don't have
West
anything
Ham's
to
still in
watch,
it? Yeah.
West Ham are there against Matty Ryan's AZ Alkmaar.
The Hammers, have had a few good stints at the European football.
Yeah, it's good to see them in there. It's probably hurt their league form a little bit, but
Yeah, they're a good win last night, which
Yeah.
I think helps. But
yeah, they needed that. And Basel up against Fiorentina, so let's hope Fiorentina can do something. Random one from David Dowling 99. Did you watch the Tank versus Garcia fight?
No, I did not.
I didn't either. Did
No,
you?
I didn't
no.
either.
Well, it is a football podcast, mate. Producer Shabs did,
Yeah,
and
it was a good fight.
it was a good fight. All right, there you go. You got that one from Producer Shabs. You got something out of it. El Mikhail 10. Who's your favorite goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, and striker of all time? Jesus. Okay,
Oh.
this is tough. Hamish, goalkeeper. Your favorite goalkeeper of all time?
Probably Shea Given.
Shay
Tim
Given.
Krul. Maybe Tim Krul. Yeah, why not?
Tim Krul.
Yeah. We've got Newcastle themed.
I would have gone.
There, I expected
Jesus,
those
okay.
responses from Hamish.
I'll go defender. I'll say Alessandro Nesta for me is the best defender ever.
Is it best or favorite? Because
Both.
No,
Whatever.
but it should be
he
who
asked
you
your favourite.
regard
My
as your
favourite, yeah.
favorite.
He asked your
Yeah,
favorite.
no, I grew up as a
And I'll go
Tim Krul fan.
Nesta. I just think he was just gorgeous to watch. Midfielder, Kat?
Iniesta.
Iniesta. Can't argue with that. Producer Shabs, striker. Go on, mate. Chop, chop.
Drogba.
Drogba. Fair enough. Favorite striker of all time. The king of finals, King Didier Drogba. Mikael, let us know who your favorite player was as well. Jai Bull. Where do you guys get your retro jerseys from? Where's a good place to get jerseys? Kat, where do you get jerseys?
The retro ones.
Yeah.
I highly encourage you to find a stall, like a pop-up stall.
Okay, yeah.
Look them up on I don't know. There's
What do kids use these days? Google?
Google and stuff,
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it's not like I don't
So
have
you don't
one.
have you don't have like a
No,
fixed.
I
you
don't
have
have
like
a
dealer.
fixed place I go to. I mean,
jerseys.
football vintage are really good. I get new ones
Yeah.
very
That's
easily.
sponsored,
The
so-
retro ones are harder to find.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Where do you get your jerseys, mate?
Old mate, the kit dealer. Shout
Kit
out to
dealer?
him. Yeah.
Shout
Kid
out to our
dealer.
Funny,
Yes.
I bought
Yes.
I've got 10, 12 vintage Newcastle jerseys. Never had a chance to wear them.
They're such nice kits.
Why don't you wear 'em?
Newcastle?
Just because
So you thought coming on a football podcast today, not
He
a good
wore a
chance
black
to wear your
tee.
vintage.
yeah, 100%. I didn't get a chance to go home to get changed.
Oh.
I was at my parents to watch the game last night with my dad.
Your dad
So-
didn't have a kit for you.
Not a vintage one.
Oh,
He's
right.
he's a small. I'm a medium.
Right.
Doesn't work.
It's the gym, eh? Blame the gym. Shout out to Kit Dealer.
Yeah, shout out
Kit
to
dealer,
him.
definitely.
Legend.
Out in Perth, legend as well. He's always got some awesome kits, but there's plenty of other ones as well.
Ukraine delivered.
PFC
PFC
vintage.
vintage as well.
PFC
Paul does a
vintage.
great
He's based
job.
in Melbourne, but
Yeah.
yeah, I've bought some at markets like Glebe markets. There's some pop-up
Yeah,
jersey
yeah,
stores and
yeah.
stuff. You just have to fish through and see
It's a
what you
culture.
can find.
eBay's got some decent. I got a few delivered from the Ukraine.
Yeah.
They've got for some reason tons in the Ukraine.
Yeah. Right. There you go. Let's not get political.
No.
But no, definitely. Classic kits are back. Kim Kardashian. When you see Kim Kardashian wearing a 1998 Roma jersey, it's time to get
Yeah.
your classic kits.
Yeah.
All right. And
Facts.
get your missus in a classic kit as well because it's
Yeah.
hot.
It is.
I think it's hot, right?
Yeah.
You ever get your girlfriend to wear kits?
No, she's not a football
No?
kit.
You've
connoisseur.
never put your girlfriend in a Newcastle kit.
I've never physically put her in one. No.
No, like don't make
Here
me
you go, babe.
Have you ever asked her to put a Newcastle kit on?
No, I haven't.
No?
I haven't. Yeah.
Why not?
Should spice it up.
Yeah.
Give it a go.
Maybe put a
She doesn't have to be a football. This is the stereotype I'm trying to break. Is that you don't have to be a crazy football fan to wear a jersey.
I think it's hard,
100%.
especially for females, because you guys get so much.
yeah, because as soon as you put something on,
support,
people are like, "Oh, like
name 3
what did the three strikers have for breakfast?" And
Yeah,
you're like, "Shut the fuck up." I don't know. But
Yeah, true.
But
Name one
you
Real
just have
Betis
to
player.
do it. You just got to wear it, and then you
Yeah.
say, "I just love the kit." It's okay to love the kit.
Yeah.
I respect
Yeah.
that.
One wearing Real Betis today. Shout out to Joaquin.
That's one of my favorites.
Who's
Good game on the
retiring.
weekend. Did you watch it?
Great game. I didn't watch it, but great game.
Turned on the last 20 minutes randomly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get those little nuggets, but Joaquin is finally retiring.
Yeah.
He's an absolute
huge.
legend of the game.
Big deal for them.
Legend of that club. And so he's finally leaving. Isera, 23. What national second division side are you guys backing? Do you have a team you're backing? I mean, I think he's asking because Born Offside, we were going to jump behind the team. We're still in conversations. Is there anyone you
Look, I mean,
you feel a slight allegiance to?
speaking more like generally, like with my knowledge of what I know about the NPL, there are clubs that I feel like if they're not included, it will be insane.
Okay.
RPL Leichhardt, Sydney Olympic, Marconi, even Sydney United, which I know is a little controversial, but I think those are the teams that need to be a part of it.
Hamish, do you have a team?
Not really.
No, you don't really care.
I like to see more like a Wollongong Wolves type area.
Yeah.
Like,
Definitely.
they need representation.
Yeah.
I don't want to see too many more like Sydney teams. Obviously, there are some who warrant it, like your Sydney Uniteds and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, don't overset.
It'd be nice to
It
give
should be
communities
based
that
on
don't have
history
teams.
though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
100%.
there's a few Victorian teams as well, definitely, we would want to see in there.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying,
Adelaide
Hamish.
team
Like,
maybe would be good.
that's what I mean, like Adelaide City.
Yeah, Adelaide
Yeah,
I've
sharing
got
the
on
love.
this.
You've got to
Yeah,
share the
yeah.
love. We don't want a repeat of
Of the
of
A-League?
the A-League issues.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%.
MacArthur.
I'm also looking closely at Sutherland Sharks as well, who are going to bid hopefully joint with Cronulla Sharks rugby league team.
So cool.
Yeah, that'd be
Love
cool.
that.
Yeah, I'd like
Actually,
to see
yeah, that'd be good.
the Shire.
Shire
I
team,
I
yeah,
reckon I'll be a
100%.
Sharky if they make it. I'll be going for them. Why not?
Oh, yes, although.
Yeah,
Let's
brother.
go, mate.
Back in the day, huh? Bulla 2152. Angel Di Maria is the most underrated player in the world.
Great goal.
Yeah. Was this allowed?
Unlucky it was this loud.
Yeah. Is he underrated still, Di Maria?
It's weird. Like it's just reminded me of like prime Robin. You're like he's gonna cut back on his left. He's gonna cut back on his left. He's gonna cut back on his
But they
left.
just can't read it.
And they just can't. He still manages to do it. He still manages to score.
Yeah.
So
Is that just because he's always played with like Messi, with
That's what
Ronaldo?
I was exactly going to say that.
Yeah.
yeah, I remember. Well, how was it the World Cup final? Claude sent me there. Shout out to Claude. Yeah, no, he even that performance, it made me realize even at his old age, he's still a gun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but you are right. I think playing next to Ronaldo.
It helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also, it could arguably dim your light a little bit as well.
Yeah.
It's not to
True.
say that you can't, without being surrounded by a lineup like that you wouldn't stand out. But it is harder to stand out, that's for sure.
Phenomenal player nonetheless, and Juventus are well and truly back in it, probably playing Champions League football, so hopefully he sticks around a little bit longer because he's also getting on. And our podcast got on quite well today with our special guest, and I think that brings us almost pretty much to an end. Kat, I'm waiting the whole time to tell you there's a hair that's sticking up on the top
I've
of your
been
head.
looking at that.
And it's been pissing me off. I was
When
gonna
I do
say
the
something
social
to you.
cuts, that's
Yeah, I was gonna say something to you early on, and you kind of give me a bit of like alfalfa vibes. It was just sticking up at the top there.
You waited the whole
I didn't know how to
fucking
tell you, and I'm
podcast.
like, I wanted to grab it, but then it's like I can't just grab your hair on the podcast. But it was just sticking up.
for any audio listeners.
All right, well, we're going to re-record this entire thing.
Yeah. So anyone watching the pod, apologies for Kat's hair. We couldn't afford hair and makeup today.
Yeah.
Hamish, absolute pleasure to have you on the pod. Before I let you go, I
thanks,
want to ask you something. Newcastle now, they're going on this run.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather they win the Premier League or the Champions League? If you could just see, like, your one dream is seeing Newcastle lift something, what is it?
God, I just can't imagine like Champions League nights at St James's Park are going to be something different. I just know it's going to be amazing. You'd probably go Premier League for the consistency because you're 38 games.
Yeah.
Maybe yeah. That's a tough one. That's
Right.
honestly a tough one.
Right.
Probably Champions League. Why not? Yeah, best of the best.
Yeah?
Yeah.
If I said to you, Newcastle, so what are we in now? It's 2023, right? If I said Newcastle will win the Champions League in 2026,
Mm-hmm.
so in 3 years, you're going to win the Champions League, but you can't have sex until then. Would you do it?
I don't think my girlfriend listens to this podcast. So,
She doesn't? Drop her.
yeah, I've been trying to put a shirt on her, trying to get her to listen to Born Offside podcast. She just doesn't want to. Yeah, why not?
Yeah?
Why
No
not?
sex for 3 years to see Newcastle win the Champions League?
Yeah.
Yeah?
We'll make it a
That night after the Champions League will be
It'll
fucking
be
brilliant.
unreal.
It'll be
Yeah,
unreal.
In a Newcastle kit.
Yeah, you'd want to be on the receiving end of Hamish after
Yeah.
that.
Don't
You
look at me.
would want to be on the receiving end of Hamish after
The
winning
fact
the
that
Champions League.
Claude's looked at me in the eye when he said that.
Oh, God. And on that note, thanks so much for joining us here on the Born Offside podcast. Make sure you're subscribing. Check out Leadbetter, Hamish's channel, House of Pie on TikTok, on all the rest. The Twitch as well. You guys are on Twitch?
Yeah, we're on Twitch.
Yeah, so make sure-
Thursday comp nights.
Yeah, brilliant. Follow them on all that and their Pro Clubs journey. You know me, you know Kat Haddad. We'll see you next time on Born Offside.
Bye, guys.
See you.